Morning everyone. So today I have a new collection that Spellbinders has brought to their site to share with you guys. It is the Spellbinders Layered Christmas Stencil collection. This is all of them. Of course I get samples, so I just kind of left them here so I wouldn't mix up my stencils. But this, yours will come on carriers, inspo, maybe some info or instruction if needed. And this is just how mine come. So they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. Just making sure we have the little words right. Okay, so there are stencils, dies that coordinate, and actually as I'm recording this, I don't know if they come in as a bundle. I'm assuming they would. Sorry guys, but I'll have all the links in the description box. Again, my affiliate links will be there. And let's just get started. So this one is stenciled, or Joy, stenciled, Merry Christmas, and stenciled Noel. So those are the words that they have. And they are just really beautiful. I'm curious to see how many stencils are in each one here. Let's see. I'm assuming they might sell them separately also because they have different numbers, product numbers on them. Wow, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stencils in here, and that is a good sign. So more stencils means more layers. They're kind of just separated out generally. So like for this Joy one, it makes like a little Christmas tree. Hopefully you can see that shape. Of course, I'll probably work with one of them today, and I'll follow up with videos on the others. Maybe some greenery, some little flowers on this one, so you can do some colors of flowers, and things are separate enough that if you wanted this to be like green also, or a different color green than here, it's out there and you don't have to mask to get that going. We have some branches and some accents on some greenery. And then, the little decorations on your tree. How cute is that? Hopefully you can see all the little dots and like stars and a star on top. And then the word Joy starts here. Some more accents on, the different flowers and things you've been doing. It's so cute how you can kind of see as you're layering. Hopefully you can kind of see what's going on there. You have the word Joy, and then you have accents to the word Joy that make it look more 3D. So this is definitely the color you would want to color in lighter, like stencil it in lighter, and then the darker accent color that makes it look more 3D. And that's the last thing there on that one. And then there's a die. So if you want to just do the words Joy, right, they're on their own here, basically the last two, you can just do that off on a piece of paper, just Joy that area, and then use your die to cut it out. So even if you want to stencil it there, you don't have to stencil it, right onto your tree. You can make it more dimensional by adding the Joy popped up. I probably wouldn't take the time to stencil it and then stencil it again and cut it out and then pop it up. I would just not do it, right, on the Christmas tree part, and then just do Joy by itself. Let's see here. This is the Merry Christmas one. So this one's more of a frame. I believe these last two are both like a frame. So we have some beautiful flowers and like little berries starting off on, actually that's number 2, so let's find number 1. Interesting. Okay, so number 1, it doesn't really matter. Again, it does matter when you get to start doing like the detail parts, because you want those to be darker, but I suppose if you did that first and then did the ones over it with a lighter color, it's not the biggest deal. But again, stencil however you like. So you have your frame. This is better because it's going to give you a really good amount of frame out. A lot of greenery on that one. Maybe some brown accents. You have your flowers. I'm assuming they all have 6 accents, right? On all those bits, greenery accents, and then all these little backgrounds. How cute! Little stars, and again, just like on the Christmas tree, little dots and things. And then the word Merry Christmas starts here, and then this is the accent to your Merry Christmas. So again, darker color with this one, lighter here. And then just little accent flowers and things. And so once we're creating it, we'll know what that looks like or what those need to be when we get there. And then you have the the die Merry Christmas, again, for the words if you just want to do that. Or, use it on a different card or however. And then over here, this is the Noel. And again, it's a frame. Let me see. Okay, that's number 1. So you have your frame out. Different from the other one. The other one, I think, seems more holly based. Is that me? Maybe. Little flowers. Again, very similar flowers to even what we saw on the Joy one. No, well, yeah, they're smaller. That's all I'm sorry to say. It has a similar design, but if you can see over here, maybe you can't. Like it's under my finger. So I just recall seeing something like this over there. Branches. Number 3. The little same starry background, and what I mean is same is like same style again from the tree and from the sky. They're obviously in different places to make the word Noel work. How cute is that? And then this one again, some accent pieces that will finish off your stenciling, and then the word Noel with your accent for Noel. And then there's the die that would cut out the word Noel, if you would like. So what I'm going to do is grab some paper and grab some inks and stenciling kind of brushes, blending brushes, whatever it is that I would like to use, and I'll be right back. So we'll start with number 1, just why not? Again, registration marks are there. I'm still going to butt it up to the very corner of my card here. Maybe I'll put a piece of paper in the background because I've been doing it this way. I don't know why, but I just butt it up to the corner. And then let's put a scrap of paper back here. There we go. And we will definitely color in the registration marks, at least in these 3 areas. I don't know. I mean, I like to save my paper so I don't want to get too much ink all over here so that I can't use it later. On that number 1, it looks like it's going to be mostly the light greenery. Oh, and I'm using the Noel. Sorry, guys. I also was going to say, in the meantime, I went and looked at the you know, what's going to be the listing for this, and they do have the bundle, so it's the stamp, oh my goodness, the stencils and the die, and or just the stencil by itself, which makes sense because you can still use a stencil, just have a flat, you know, like note card look. Number 3 has like the accents, so basically you start off with whatever's light, because this is going to bring in the darker accents, and it looks like there's not anything secondary for like these little branches, so if you want to just go ahead and do that dark, you can do that. I'm just going to go for a light green for everything, just make it super easy. So light green, we'll start with that and just bring it in, and basically everything's light green. This is all greenery or brownery or whatever you want. I know that looks lovely too sometimes when you go with some brown. I'm going to try to really get into this registration mark. Get some color in there. Even with the same, like I'm using one color right now, but I could definitely use that same color in certain areas to build up more color. So like, let's say we have that, but I know I'm not going to add any more green to like this branch, so maybe make it darker green now, right? So you can kind of, even with the same one, just make some differentiation of color. And sometimes I'm going a little bit lighter, a little bit darker in areas just to have, again, a little more fun with that. Oopsie, I said I was going to get it into the registration marks, didn't I? Let's get that ink in there as well as we can. Okay. And again, if you're using hybrid inks or inks that you know are really going to stain, you probably want to wash these guys off right now. Oh, I got a little paper tear there. It doesn't matter. The stencil is going to work. It's going to work, you know. Okay, that was number 1. And number 2 are like these little flowers. So again, registration marks. I don't know if you can see them. I'll get a little bit closer. And I'm sorry. The lighting is such... Let me play with that a little bit. I'll be right back. But for some reason it looks better. Okay, so these little areas here we're going to line up. Or again, I basically butt it up to the edge of my paper. But you know, you're looking at your registration marks. I mean, that's lined up pretty well there with the flowers and everything, little berries. Just right there. And I'm going to go generally with pinks and reds for this kind of thing. So let's see. I have not chosen those colors yet. Sorry, I should have. Should I make them really fun, really bright? Let me grab this pink here. This is very pink, so I'm just going to go lightly with it. Like in here in this one. Just a little blush, see, like, I mean, that's hardly anything because it's very, very pink. I mean, you want to do that one like a blue or something else that's more fun for you. You can definitely do that. I'll go with a little bit of pink that's a little deeper than this guy got it. And then let's do some red. That's actually a deep red, but I'll go deeper next time, I suppose. There we go, that one, and this one. And I'm just going to circular motion. You know, it depends on what the shape of the stencil cutout is that I choose to do one way or another. That looks pretty good. So I'll keep this red out because I'll probably need it later. Look how cute. And then we have that differentiation of color just by adding a little more pressure, a little less, you know, changing it up. This is our 3rd stencil, and yeah. I'm just going to pop that down right there and right there. Again, I'm looking at those registration marks. I could have reinforced them with the last one that we did, but I did not. And as you can see, it's lining up on the little leaves on the stem here. So, you know, just decide what you want to do with that. So I think darker green, and where's the darker green? I had put it to the side. Didn't I put it right in front of me? Here it is. I might do some brown on some of this. I don't know. Let's see. So darker green on like this holly here, and this little leaf that's next to it. Up here, let's see. Just getting that one, and actually, then over here. These are all just leaves here. And I think on anything that looks like branch, I'll go with brown just for fun. You know, change it up. So let's do that. And I do need like a brown. Let me grab one really quick. Oh, I have a bright green from the other day, so I'll move that there. Come on, girly. Okay, right here. Let's do kind of like a lightish brown. And this guy's kind of small, so I'll go ahead and use that. I'm gonna get in here and right in there. Oh, I just realized I missed a little green spot. I did it the other day. I was all wrapping up, and then I was like, oh no, I forgot one spot. Okay. Brown and brown here. Okay, I'm going to take a minute to wash these guys off because that's 3 stencils that have ink on them now, and then I'll be right back to finish up. But let's see what this looks like. Oh, you guys, how cute. Okay, I'll be right back. It's really fun because it has just a lot of little dots, so, you know, do you want to make them like gold colored, bring a little something in, I don't know. Again, registration marks I'm lining up here, and that looks really good. Where's my tape? There we go. And I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbor's gardener. So I live in a cul-de-sac with only very few houses, and they are very busy people. Everyone's doing something all the time. Oh, you know what would be cute? Oh, see, you guys. The reason I just go with ink is because I gotta get the video going, get the pictures, you know, in a timely manner. This would be a great one to go through with some like glimmer paste. So actually, if I'm gonna do that, I'll do that at the end. How about that? Let's not use this one right now. That makes good sense. So I'm not gonna do it with number 4 right now because I can run through some glimmer paste or something cute over it, and we'll go with that. So let's go with number 5 so that we can get our rest of our little accent pieces, and then I'm going to do the Noel separately, okay guys? So the Noel, the wording, I'm going to do it separate so I can cut it out with the die and just have it on another piece of paper, maybe down here somewhere, right? So let me grab the colors I want for this. This is just all the little accents for your little flowers, so I'll be right back. Some random colors here. I'm going to do these little guys that look like little, I guess berries, but in the yellow. So I just have a light yellow just to bring in a different color. I got into the Noel part, but that's okay. We're gonna do that later. Anyway, I'm gonna go in here again, that little bit of yellow, just making it really playful and fun because that's all there is on that. This has little tops, and maybe we'll use that same brown that we used earlier for the little bits on these little like berries up here. So just a little something there. And then center is there. We have some little dots here that can be more berry-ish in my opinion, so I'll probably just go with, actually let me use something smaller even though I don't have to, but I already have it here, so why not? So I'll use this red. Oh, maybe this accent red. Oh, this one, yeah. So this one's I got because I needed something to be a little bit darker for the center of these. So maybe that'll be good to add here because it's different. So it's a little bit there and a little bit here. And then accents in this one. These are supposed to be my darker flowers, so I'm going to go a little bit darker what I put in there. And this guy too. It's almost a burgundy red. And these last two we'll just go with the darker red, which would have been this one here. Where is my red brush? Huge red brush, of course, there it is. It's turned over. And let's go with this darker red. Ah! Again, this is a really big head that I decided to use here. And then the accent on this one. And I think that is everything for this guy. Just making sure. Alright, so let's pick that up. Oh, you guys, how pretty. Again, I did a little bit of the N and the Noel part. We're going to do that separately. I'm going to go rinse this off so we can do our Noel. But before I do the Noel, I'll probably cut this down and get the glimmer paste going so this starts drying, okay? But I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to, you know, probably a little smaller than A2 size, what I like to do. And then we'll do the glimmering because I want to get that drying, and then we'll do our Noel part. So I will be right back. You can either use it, you know, your precision dies, just trim it down. You have registration marks that help you out with that too. So I'll be right back. So I did cut that down, and again, the registration marks, if you follow them for your cutting, will give you a card topper that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I went a little bit inside of that because I like 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so I just cut it how I wanted. Again, precision dies are really great. You just pop it on, then you can see exactly what you're doing. This is going to be a little bit smaller than my mat here, so my registration marks are gone, but this is all just little extra bits, so I'm just going to kind of line it up where I might have been, which is really just inside the registration lines all around. I mean, that's perfect right there. And so I'm just going to tape that down to my paper here. And I have this beautiful glimmer paste. This one happens to be called, oh, this is glacier paste actually. It's called bronze metal. So this one is a little more opaque, and literally just because it was here and I was like, oh, that's a pretty color. So let me see. I'm doing it all the same. So I'm just going to come in here. Just make sure you get some everywhere. There are some spots that are smaller than others. So literally I'm just trying to get in here wherever I see something. And you can definitely collect this stuff at the end and put it back into your jar if you have excess. That's better. I don't know why I started with this on the top of my palette knife. I kind of push down, and you think pushing down is going to make it squish, but it also keeps your stencil down, right? So that's how I do this. I'm just collecting the rest because it really didn't take very much. Put it back in there as well as I can. And let's check this guy out. I always remove them immediately. I don't think it's a good thing to let it sit there and then remove them. So, aww. Very cute. And so those will be shimmery, and again I went with like a bronzy color, gold, red, glitter, green would all be very pretty. Glitter paste, shimmer, whatever. I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna go wipe this off and then wash it off. I always wipe it off with a paper towel first, or baby wipes, something like that, just to not get that glitter into my waterways over here. So I will be back. Just got scrap paper, and actually remember I pulled that off a little bit. We're just looking to do the Noel, which I'm sure I can find a little area like right there. We're just turning my paper over. I probably won't be using the registration marks too much because honestly if I put it down here I can just use the die and not waste other areas. We just want this little bit. So I'm just gonna take that down. How pretty would it be to do the accent on this with a glimmer paste, with a shimmer, with a glitter paste, So right now we're gonna go lightly in here with Noel and then the accent. And should we bring out more red? I love me some red for Christmas stuff. Maybe the green. Oh, see, that's tough. Let's just go with the reds. So try to get as much of this off. I was trying to clean it off earlier. Let's go with that pinky red, and I'm just gonna go with it because it doesn't matter where the die is gonna pretty much cut a lot of this for us. So I'm just gonna go in here. I don't need to protect any other areas. Now, you see what I was doing? I was kind of going like this. This little O is pretty delicate, right? So just be careful. If a pouncing motion is better for you on that, then do that. Because if you move it, you're gonna have it's not gonna be as crisp. So something like that. I'm gonna hold that for a second and see how we did. Okay, looks good. I'm doing it very lightly because I want it to be that rosy color, which is kind of obliterated now because of the red that I've been using on that. And again, I didn't use registration lines, although I could have. I'm just going to bring this over and let's see here. Oh, actually, let me see where the registration lines are supposed to be. For the accent part, it is a little bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie, because it's not where you would think. You think it's gonna be on the lettering, but it's kind of off. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of registration, and that'll help me know. Because these guys are kind of like above or below what you have here. It's not on these little thin lines. I don't know. In some areas it might be, but... So, registration lines, very important for this one. Because you see that? I would never have guessed that. I don't know if you can see it's like below the lettering. I would not have even thought. Okay. Again, glimmer on this one, gorgeous, but something like that. We'll just go with Glacier Cherry. I was gonna say, should I go with the deepest one? That'd be pretty too, but let's go with this guy. And again, paying attention to how delicate these areas are. So sometimes you have to pounce, sometimes you can do the little swirly like, but right now I'm just kind of bringing it down from the top. Okay. Yeah, very sturdy stencil on this one. Like I can go like this all day and I don't feel like anything's too delicate. That looks really pretty. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Or maybe you do the glimmering on the first part and then this accent part second. So what I would do if I was going to do that, I would do this first, do my ink, then grab this guy, use your registration marks to line it up, and then do the glimmering so that the glimmer is all this shiny, you know, the lettering itself, and then the background is just kind of background. You know, just depends on how you want to accent your designs. Okay, wash. I'll be right back. So I have cleaned up in the meantime. All right, we have our Noel. And it looks like it goes like this. How pretty is that? Now I am eyeballing this. If you want to know exactly where you're cutting, you can do an aperture, which is what I do. Is I'll take the die, tape it like in one area on a scrap piece of paper, run it through, and then actually, let's do it. I was just thinking, I have some pretty pink paper that would be really cute to go behind that with all the different colors that we have. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I was going to do like a gold accent. So what I'm doing right now is using a paper that I'm actually going to use for like a drop shadow. A lot of times I'll just use a scrap of paper that I might have here somewhere. I'll tape it like this, and I'll find an area that seems the easiest to hinge. I hope that makes sense. And to be honest, it should be like here, but then that kind of goes higher than that. Let's go here. That might be odd, but I'm gonna run this through my die cutting machine, and then I'll be right back. So now I have this beautiful Noel. It's just the, you know, it's all the stenciling. Ooh, it even has like embossing. That's cute. Okay, but for this one, now what we're gonna do is, do not unhinge it, don't take it off of this. You're just gonna open it up like this a little bit and place it where you think you want it to cut. So as I look through, I can see that little window, little apertures show me exactly where it's gonna cut, pretty, you know, for the most part. So again, you don't want to remove this. You want this to pop right back into that same recess it came out of. And of course, put another piece of tape. And maybe I'll trim that off because I think, like I said earlier, I'll save my paper, but obviously this paper's a little bit destroyed. I'll put it down here and I'll run that through again, and then we should have a pretty nice Noel die cut. Closer possibly than if you were just eyeballing it, you know? Just depends on the die. Some dies are easier to see through than others, and make sure you're in the right spot, you know? Oh yeah, look at that. And the reason I really want to do that is because this thing has like areas where it's cut, and so you want it to be right on. That is so pretty. And since I have this guy, we can do a little bit of a drop shadow, and it just gives you a little extra something, right? And look at this. Of course, it's starting to dry. This fits in right here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna glue that together. And you can do your drop shadow that way, this way, whatever you think. Oh, that's interesting because this has a drop. It has a shadow to it already, right? So we can do it that way, you can do it this way. I feel like this way looked really cool though, so I'll go the other direction. I suppose you can even put dimensionals between your drop shadow and this. That'd be cool too, huh? If this was picked up from that bottom that we were looking at. I think that'd be really cool. What I mean is this up from the pink background. Okay, that looks really nice. I'm gonna let that set up a little bit. Grab my card base and all that, and I'll be right back. Today I'm making my own card base, so I just grabbed an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, your A2 size piece of paper, and cut it right in half, of course, at 5.5. And I'm just gonna score it here. Now you can definitely trim more off of this if you want like a matte layer behind it to, you know, of color to make it pop or however. 4.25. So my paper's already 5.5 by 8.5, and then we score it at 4.25. And I have not had my coffee yet, fellas, and it just finished percolating, so that'll be my reward here. All right. So card base, and then this pretty guy, which I'm sure this probably close to being dry, but not quite there yet. So I'm just gonna glue that down. But again, you want a matte layer behind it, really make it pop. Definitely do that. Going to glue this down with some care, because again, I'm not sure if my glimmer is dry. That's very pretty. Look at that. And then I did it this way because I know the Noel goes up in there, so obviously you want this oriented the right way. And I'm definitely going to put dimensionals on this, so why not? The whole point was to get it up off the card, right? If you wanted to go ahead and continue just making a note card, right, you would have done your Noel and then your accent piece to it, all on that one bit. If you still want to do some glimmer after that, then don't, or shimmers or whatever it is, don't use number 4, right? Was it number 4? Until you're all done. And then again, the accent pieces if you want in here. But let me get some dimensionals on this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just got some dimensionals strategically placed behind there. They're really nice sizable areas, so like you don't have to have like the ittiest bittiest dimensionals. This is one I use, although they are small, you don't have to do that because I like that the dimension isn't too much. And so we will place this here, and how cute. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That looks really good. Let me take those carriers that stuck to it off. How pretty is that? And how like just so much going on with, you know, your stenciling. It's relatively flat, very mailable, just really cute. Oh my gosh. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have videos for the Merry Christmas and for the Joy, the little Christmas tree, which is so cute, coming up. Just keep an eye out. Thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending these items for review. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.